Howdy crew, today got another shopping haul for the welding rig. Very excited for it. Let's get to it. Alright, we have our makeshift dolly there. And we're gonna go ahead and start unloading all this good stuff. First and foremost, we'll start with some E60 1/8 5-piece plus, 50 pounds. So it's a nice little box. So we have our 5P plus, Lincoln Electric. So very happy to have a 50-pound box of this 6010. And then we also have some 7018 1/8 Lincoln Electric. Very happy to have 7018 ready to go. It's all in their hermetically sealed containers. You open this up, you gotta put it in your rod oven or use it, basically. But again, if you're on site and the inspector's there, you have to either have it come out of the rod oven or right out of this can. You can't have just a cover over it. It has to be original seal intact. So be sure of that. I've unloaded so many of these off of pallets, just full of these different sites, and just throwing them in rod ovens that hold 400, 450 pounds worth. So yeah, quite a few of these offloaded. TIG torch, I will be opening all this stuff up, or most of it, opening most of it up a little bit. But we have our TIG torch. Victor regulator, gotta have the Ferrari of regulators. Argon hoses. And as you all have seen recently, I did a review on the number 10 shade that's gold. And as you all remember, I was doing flux core and it was a little bit too bright, so I got the number 12 shade. Got some welding electrodes from Washington Alloy, 7018 1/8 inch. So we're gonna be giving this a try. And this is what Gus was recommending at MPB. I'll go over in this more detail in a bit. Inner shield, outer shield. One's a 10-pound spool, one's 11-pound spool. Again, more details in just a moment. £10, 6063 TIG wire, which means it's aluminum. Gonna have this put in toolboxes in the welding rig. So this will be to have, so everything's nice and sealed, have it out somewhere. It's not gonna get all gunkies, rods, wires running all over the place. So TIG wire is gonna go in here. And last but not least, let me get this critter out. All right, so I'll be doing an unboxing of this later, but it is a rod oven. Need a rod oven, so that's really good. Happy to have a rod oven. Need that stuff at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 7018 anyways. Or if there has to be a specialty rod that's low hydrogen, put it in there. So we'll be moving this and going through it in a little bit more detail in just a moment. Alrighty, so a little bit later in the day than when I brought all this stuff home, but I couldn't record earlier because my neighborhood had the genius idea to play some of the most hideous music ever known to man. So I was not able to record because it was just blasting and you wouldn't be able to hear me. It was that bad. So we're gonna go through some things, break some things down, do some partial openings, and we'll just go from there. So first and foremost, the Victor argon regulator and flow meter. We'll bring this critter out. So Victor, as Gus at MPB would describe it, is the Ferrari of regulators and torch setups. We've got the flow meter for our argon. Obviously don't have the tank yet, but we got our Victor regulator and flow meter. So we're gonna have that slide right back in there. So very happy to have this stuff. It is expensive, but it is better quality, and also if something goes wrong, they'll fix it. They'll work on it, and Victor has very good customer service that way, which is great. And also working with the folks at MPB, they'll help me out with that if need be. So that's great. 10-foot Profax argon hose. So it's nice, so that way I can just hook it up to the argon tank if I'm right by the Trailblazer Air Pack 330. But if I need to be further away, I'll have the 50-foot. This way, both of these are the 1/4. Yes, both are 1/4. Want to double check that? So yeah, I got a 50-foot and a 10-foot. That way, I can just be wherever I need to be. If it's more than 50 feet away, well, I guess I'll go get another 50-foot cable. Got the number 12 shade for the gold lens. If you all been watching, about a month ago, did a review on the number 10 shade gold lens, and I really liked it. So if you want to see more about that, I recommend going to that video. And I really liked it, so I want to get another one, but the number 12, so that way when I'm doing flux core, it's not as hard on the eyes. And we'll go with the 6063 aluminum 3-foot wires. So we're going to do the 10-pound box starting off. We'll be getting more later, but figured to start off with the 10-pound. It's not bad. And also, when out in the field, if I leave the box here at home, but I want a good amount with me, I'll put it in here. Might all fit in there, I don't know, we'll find out. So, and I like that it has a little tag on there. There are some that don't have tags, but I'm gonna write on there 6063. So if I need several different types, eventually I can have multiple tubes in the truck and just look at the tag, which wire do I need? Because there are multiple colors, but also if you run out of colors, you can just have little tags on the end. I think that's ingenious, that's great. Otherwise, I would just put some duct tape around it. I've done that before with other cases for welding rods. It's just put duct tape on it and write whatever rod I had in there. All right, so I'm mainly going with Lincoln rods, as you'll see in a moment, but Gus at MPB was saying that he'd like to see if I'd like to try the, Washington Alloy 7018. So I'm gonna give this a try. He said some guys like it along with Lincoln. It runs very similar. Amperage might change some, what you have to run it at, but it runs very similar to Lincoln. It's about half the price, he says. So I'm gonna be giving this a try. This is only a 10-pound box, so it's just a little trial. I'm gonna try it and see whether I like this or just the Lincoln. And I do hope I like this more so, or just as much as Lincoln, even if it's the same, because it's a lot less expensive. So I'm definitely gonna give this a try with the new machine, and we'll see how this works out. I am excited to try that. But since I mentioned that 7018, I'll bring out the 50-pound canister of 7018 Lincoln Electric. I normally run Lincoln Electric wherever I'm at. I've run Hobart out in the field and I just didn't care for it. Even on certified welds, I've been able to pass no problem, all the inspections. I just don't like the way it feels. It's just personal preference. Some guys like it, but when I'm running Hobart, it seems like the flux just cracks super easy. Even when you're running your rods, it seems like the flux seems to chip higher up above the puddle, and I just don't care for that. Lincoln, for me, I really enjoy the way the flux stays all the way to the very end of the rod. And that's just me. Some of y'all may have different preferences, and that's perfectly okay. That's why there's different manufacturers. So I do really enjoy the Lincoln 7018, but I'm gonna give the Washington Alloy a fair shot. I'm gonna have a completely open mind, and I do hope it runs just as good, if not better, than the Lincoln, because it costs quite a bit less. So that is that. Alright. Here is, where's the label? There it is. The Lincoln Electric 6010 5P Plus. It is, both these are 1/8, so I'm just starting out with 1/8 stuff. If I need anything 3/32, 5/64, anything, I'll just get it later. So, anywho's, just starting off with these two, and then for kind of jumping around, keeping it interesting, not everything all in one clump, 2 different wires. This one, which one is this one? There's a little label, there it is. All right, MIG wire, 035, 10-pound spool, or is this the 11-pound? This is the 11-pound spool, excuse me, one's 10, one's 11. This is MIG wire 035 ER70S-6. So, just gonna run this with CO2 argon mix. And then this one is flux core wire 045 E71T-GS. So, that's gonna be my outer shield. Inner shield to start off with. Outer shield will be the bottom one there, just so I have a good mix of welding on gates, fences, or something that needs to be clean, something that's supposed to be out and about. Do the MIG wire and run with the gas. If something's more structural or something is just not going to be seen and I can run it with my inner shield, I'd much rather run the inner shield, because that way I don't have to use gas. I prefer inner shield. It's just, I enjoy it more. All right, so TIGmaster torch. I'm gonna do a little bit of an unboxing on this one, as well as the next one. Not in this video, I'll do it in a separate video, but I think they deserve their own video. So, got a TIGmaster from Profax torch, so I'm very excited about that. And there's actually an extra little item in here that I will show in that video. So, there's a little teaser for y'all. And last but not least, here we go. I'm gonna do an unboxing on this one as well. Get my little dolly out of the way, there we go. So, you may wonder, what is this? And you also may be wondering, well, if you're gonna be running 7018, you're certified licensed welder, how come you don't have a rod oven? Well, guess what it is? It's a rod oven. So, I'm gonna be doing an unboxing video on this. I'll also be testing it once the truck gets here, but I'll do an unboxing in a separate video. But I'm very excited to have a rod oven. I just view that as necessary. So if an inspector is coming up and wants to see that the rod is either coming out of a rod oven or the hermetically sealed canisters, it has either one. And I don't want to be doing 10-pound bunches of rods on projects and open up another 50-pound container each time. It's just not needed. So anywho's, I'm gonna do some unboxings on some of these in separate videos, just to keep it different, keep it changed up. So if someone's looking just for this TIG torch or just for this rod oven, they can go straight to that video and it's not mixed in with all this. But that was today's shopping haul. I was very, very happy with it. And thank you again to Daniel and Gus at MPP Welding Supply. They helped me out a lot. They ran different numbers. I got some quotes on some other things. I'll be looking up some other items and get back to them very soon, and I'm very excited about that because it's more stuff. And who don't like more tools, more stuff to go on the welding rig? I'm just very excited about it. And I'd say this table's holding up pretty good. If you all saw a few videos ago, opening up the Lincoln Electric portable welding table, taking a rough guess, 50 pounds, 11, 10, so easily 100 and something. I've sat on this thing and I think I weigh more than all this because I'm about 180, 200 ranges. But there's weight all over and it looks like it's holding up pretty good. So hope y'all enjoyed. There's gonna be more shopping hauls very soon for welding rig gear. And I'm just very excited to have it all out there. Very excited to kind of show it off, show what's going in the rig, maybe stuff that I might have forgotten, or stuff that might not have been necessary as far in advance. So I'll let you know how everything's going and what's happening here. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next video.